Trusty Rusty. Rusty repairs the railway that winds through the mountains on the island of Sodor. The little diesel checks the tracks, tunnels, and bridges. All are in good working order. One day, Rusty was crossing the old wooden bridge. There was a bump in the tracks. Rusty's driver stopped to check the bridge. "There are cracks in the supports," he said. "Oh, that could be dangerous," cried Rusty. "It might fall down if it's not repaired." And they hurried off to warn the other engines. The engines were waiting for their coal when Rusty arrived. "Don't use the old wooden bridge," said Rusty. "It's dangerous." "How would you know?" wished Duncan. "You're only a diesel." And he puffed crossly away. He didn't even wait for his coal. Rusty hurried down the mountain to tell Sir Topham Hatt the bad news. "Thank you," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I'll send the engineers to investigate the bridge. Meanwhile, nobody is to use it." Rusty's driver put up a sign. "Line closed." The other engines had to travel a different way. Meanwhile, Duncan needed more coal to get home. But when he arrived at the coal bunker, it was empty. "Bother! I won't be able to get home without more coal. Where's the nearest bunker?" "On the other side of the old wooden bridge. But you can't cross it. Rusty said it's not safe." "Rusty always makes things sound worse than they are." "I'm sure one trip over the old wooden bridge won't hurt," added his driver. When they got to the junction, Duncan's driver removed the sign. And they set off towards the bridge. This was a big mistake. Suddenly, Duncan hissed to a halt. "I'm all out of steam." He had used up all his coal. "What's that?" he asked nervously. His driver looked out. The old wooden bridge was starting to collapse. "Rusty!" called Skarloey. "Duncan's gone across the old bridge." "I better check he's all right," the little diesel said. But the cracks in the supports were getting larger. A beam snapped. Timber pieces splashed into the water below. "Help!" whistled Duncan. "I'm going to fall!" But Rusty was on the way. Soon, the little diesel reached the old wooden bridge. Duncan had never looked so scared. Rusty slowly chuffed onto the bridge. "Careful!" gasped Duncan. Soon, they were coupled up. "Hold on," said Rusty. "Whoa!" shouted Duncan. The little diesel pulled him off the bridge just in time. Sir Topham Hatt was cross with Duncan. "That was very irresponsible." "Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. And Rusty, you were very brave today." "Yes, Rusty. You were a really useful engine." "Thank you, sir." Rusty felt very reliable, too. The Runaway Elephant. The engines on the island of Sodor were excited. A new park was being built. Everyone was working hard to get the job finished on time. Duncan was feeling impatient one morning. Get a move on, slow coach, he puffed crossly to Rusty. You're so slow, I finished first, Duncan boasted to Skarloey. Skarloey was cross. A little later, he met Rusty at the new park station. Duncan thinks he's fast, Skarloey steamed, but he's just a bossy boiler. Better safe than fast, Rusty agreed. Duncan drew into the station. He was all puffed up and pleased. I finished first, he wished proudly. In that case, said Sir Topham Hatt, I've got another job for you. You are to collect the elephant on the siding and take it to the park. Yes, sir, chuffed Duncan. This elephant is very important. You must be very careful. When Duncan saw the elephant, he was surprised. Why, it's only a statue, he said. This is an easy job. You must wait for the brake van, said the station master. This statue was very heavy. Nonsense, huffed Duncan to his driver. I've pushed heavier loads plenty of times. Let's go, said his driver. But we must be careful. So they left, but without a brake van. But Duncan wasn't careful. He was impatient. We'll show them how fast I could be, Duncan whistled. We'll deliver this statue and I'll still finish first. Duncan started the speed up. Soon, Duncan was going as fast as his wheels could carry him. His driver started to worry, so he tried to brake. But Duncan was out of control. He was scared. He had never gone this fast before. People waved and cars tooted as Duncan sped by. Suddenly, a tractor trundled across Duncan's line. Look out! Shouted his driver. Slow down, whistled Rusty. I can't, Duncan cried as he shot past. Whoa! Elephant Park loomed ahead. Duncan's driver applied the brakes once more, but it was too late. The statue flew into the air and landed in the lake. Luckily, nobody was hurt. In no time, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. He was cross. I told you to be careful. You should have waited for the brake van, he said sternly. I'm sorry, sir, mumbled Duncan. He felt very embarrassed. Duncan was repaired just in time for the grand opening. He was surprised to see the elephant still standing in the lake. Everyone loves the elephant in the lake, said Lady Hatt, even if it was a mistake. Hooray for Duncan's mistake, cheered the engines. Duncan blushed and went a deep shade of red. There 2, there 4, there 6, there 8, shunting trucks and hauling freight. Red and green and brown and blue, they're the really useful crew. All with different roles to play, around in the sheds or far away. Down the hills and round the bends, Thomas and his friends. Thomas, he's the cheeky one. James is vain but lots of fun. Percy pulls the mail on time. Gordon thunders down the line. Emily really knows his stuff. Henry toots and huffs and puffs. Edward wants to help and share. Toby is wise and swear. There 2, there 4, there 6, there 8, shunting trucks and hauling freight. red and green and brown and blue. They're the really useful crew, all with different roles to play around Titmus sheds or far away, down the hills and round the bends. Thomas and his friends.